Hello and welcome to today's movement practice. My name is Julia from Satori Yoga, and today I'm going to show you one of the first movements I teach when a person is recovering from chronic pain or from an injury or just starting out and not sure where to go. So for this particular movement, you're going to need a mat and a couple of blankets. I'm using one of the firm blankets for head support, and I also have a stack of softer synthetic blankets in case I need some padding. Just a reminder, as always, if the mat is not a comfortable place for you, please use your bed, use your couch, use whatever works for you. You don't need to be struggling to start moving. And for today's movement practice, we're going to start on our backs. But before you go there, before you get yourself comfortable in your nest, I want to show you the movement that we're going to practice in a seated position. You don't have to do it. I just want to show you so you know where we're going next. So the movement will look something like this. We're going to start lying on our backs with the knees bent, and we'll experiment with where our feet are for a comfortable position. As you can see here, my feet are about hip space apart. And the movement that we're going to practice is this one. We will be taking our knees side to side today. But we will be doing that in a few different positions or variations for the feet. We'll try bringing our feet a little closer together. We'll try taking our feet slightly wider apart. And we'll see how these small changes make our movement practice feel different. So let's begin. Come on over onto your back and let's get comfortable. Once you are lying on your back, take note of how your head support feels to you. As I mentioned in the video from last or previous week, you can take your head support and scrunch it a little bit around your neck so that you're feeling more supported and more comfortable. And for today's practice, we're going to keep our hands just on our belly. Now, if you do have injuries or just sensitivity in your low back or your shoulders, you might want to use your blankets to pad yourself a little bit more so your pelvis is more supported or perhaps your elbows are more supported. Now, once you've settled down, take a note of where your feet are standing and find a position that feels absolutely natural to you. So this may feel a little wider apart, a little narrower together. Just go where it feels good to you. Same goes for how close or far away your feet are from your buttocks. Find the position which feels most supportive and most relaxing for you. And once you get yourself situated, take a breath. Now get into our movement from here. We're going to start moving our knees side to side. And you will notice that my movement range here is fairly small. I'm not in any hurry to get my legs over to the floor or to get a stretch. I'm just feeling how this feels. I'm feeling slight rocking in my pelvis as I am moving my legs side to side. There's definitely different sensations through the feet too, as the feet are joining in my movement. So I am taking time here to notice and assess what this feels like. Maybe it feels good and maybe it feels yucky and I need to change something. That something might be more padding. That might be that I need to move to the bed. That might be that I need to reduce the range of motion here and go even smaller. Once you've given yourself a chance to explore this particular position, pause and again take a breath. Hands are resting gently on your belly. Now, from your natural position, try stepping your feet a little wider. My favorite position is to have my feet right on the edges of the mat, but that may or may not work for you. So play around with this variation, see where it feels best and not best for you. And again, try the same movement. Try letting your knees go side to side as you're getting more familiar with your movement here. Notice how the movement connects with your breathing, or does it connect with your breathing? Do you feel there is a particular phase of your breath where the knees go to side and when they come back? And as you go here, as you do this movement here, notice if anything about this particular variation with our feet slightly wider feel different to you. Maybe it feels a little better. Maybe it feels worse. Maybe it feels a little stretchier somewhere. So again, we're just noticing how this feels. Now bring your knees back to center, and for the next variation, step your feet close together. Again, go with what works for you. They don't have to be squeezed together like mine are. Find a position where your feet just slightly narrower than your usual position. And same deal, try rocking your knees side to side here. A tiny bit of movement is all you need. Same deal here. Notice how far it feels okay to go, whether this variation with the feet closer together works for you or not, how the breath is moving, and maybe you're starting to get tired or not or bored of this movement. That's okay too. And coming back to center. So now we're going to use a counting drill to help us gain more awareness of the body. Let's start by bringing our feet into a position you felt most comfortable with. For me, it's this hip width barred position. And now if it's okay for you, close your eyes so you're paying attention, really paying attention to what's happening inside of your body. And try again, taking your knees side to side. Let's say that when your knees are in the middle, completely in the middle, it's a 0. And when the knees are gone all the way out to one side, it's a 10. Now, as you move your knees side to side now, notice which number on each side you feel most comfortable with. So as I am rocking my knees here, I feel like I am good with about a 3 or a 4. I can potentially go maybe even to a 7 or an 8, but 3 or 4 is what feels absolutely best to me. So I'm going to continue moving this way. And notice how this feels, and notice if the number is changing at all as I am moving my legs side to side. Noticing if the number is different on one side versus the other side. And notice if this number changes at all as you continue to move. So I am now getting more comfortable with a 5. And we'll finish our practice in the middle. So our knees are back to the center, to that 0 stop point. Feel free to open your eyes when you're ready. To get out of your pose, roll to your side. So let your knees and your body roll to a side. And then see if you can use your hands and arms to help yourself get up. Experiment with this variation of movement on your own for a few times. See how it feels today and on different days. Next week, we're going to add some arm movements to what we already have accomplished today and see how upper